Okay. Let's get this show on the road. Hold on a minute. Yes. No, none of that. None of that. Okay. Good. Good morning. Happy Friday. All right, let's see. I think I've got everything I need in front of me. I think. Methinks I do. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? Oh, that's fine. So, what I'm trying to do, what I'm endeavoring to do, is to not finish, I guess, do the prompt. Do the prompt thing. So, on Monday, I posted this hex map prompt to various places, and I figured I would try to do it now. Let me get my fan going. It's a little bit warm in here. So I've just for ease of doing things, I've put everything into Worldographer. I mean everything. It's not that much. 6x6 grid. You can see over here, mirrors here. The only thing I didn't put in was the river because I need to complete it. And I use there are these curves. Oh, sorry, Worldographer. Where is it? Labels, shapes. Using these shapes to do the river. So I don't want to just have that middle portion. I will recall that that's there and I'll fill it in. So I guess I'll do that first because I think that's what I have on my little list of things to do. All right, so let me roll a couple dice. Oh, actually, I guess I'll set it. So I'm going to use 2 dice. I know I put 1 in the prompt. I was trying to keep it simple, but I'm going to use 2 dice. I have an orange and a yellow. So I guess we'll do orange will be our column and yellow row. So I got 5 and 2. So column 2, which is actually 1 in Worldographer. And then, oh no, wait, I don't really, well, yeah, I need like this. And then, yes, wait a minute. No, it can't be, sorry. Hold on a minute. It's got to be, yeah, I got to roll for, sorry, I need, I'm doing this wrong. All right, I need 1 for the side, but I was thinking it could be in the bottom too. So how do I do this? Because I can't have a middle. I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get like a middle row, which I can't, which I don't want. I want to pick. I guess I got to roll them. How can I do this? How can I roll to get one of these? I guess. Oh, here. You know what? Here's what I can do. This is what I'll do. All right, I'm going to roll a d12, and we'll just count along. Starting at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's right, because this one's twice. All right, D12 minus 1, I guess. Right? D12, and if I get a 12, I don't know, I'll do something else. I got a 5, so I don't have to worry about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there. So our river is going to start in 0, 0, 0, 1. Now I need to do the end, which I'm going to do for the other side, where I'm going to go starting in the other corner. Whoops, count down. I got a 6. So from 0, 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, to this corner down here. So over here, and I'll just choose which one of these lines. I don't, it's a prompt. We don't need to be hyper specific. Okay, I'm on river. I think 10 is a good width. Snap to points on the grid. Great. So we're just going to go, and I know that the one thing I do need to hit is this. So I think what I'm going to do over here is zig, little zag. Come over here, and now do I want it to go out? Yeah, we'll have it go at the bottom like that. Okay. Now we've got our river. Great. Now I can start rolling for the terrain pieces and see what I get. So I'll roll 2 at a time. I got a 1 and a 5. So 1, I got a swamp. And to me, this seems like a natural area either here for the swamp or here. It's kind of a nice border. Maybe I'll go with this one for the swamp. So let's switch to terrain. Oh, I keep forgetting that. Sorry, worldographer. Yeah, I just do classic. And let's get our swamp. Where's the classic swamp? Not fen. I know I could do a search, but where are we? I must have missed it. I know there's a few different. Oh, there's swamp. All right. Oh yeah, so swamp. Interesting. Or do I? Yeah, I'll go swamp. All right. Go. What do I do? Swamp, and we'll stick it right there. Oh wait, and that was 1, and then 5. I got mountains. Mountains, Gandalf. Mountains. I think 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm just gonna stick it right up in that corner, and that makes it nice. So then I can establish by putting the mountains up here. I'm also saying basically that this river is going to flowing. That's the high ground flowing towards the low. So now we have sort of our angle or our position of altitude changes basically. So let me get mountains. Let me go 1. Whoops. Can I undo that? 2, 3, 4. Right. 4. Yep. Okay. Let's roll with another couple of dice. 4 and 4. All right. So I get hills. Multiple hills. Well, you know what? This actually works pretty good. I'm just going to do normal. I'll put in hills here and then I'll amend these. I do like to use the specialized ones, but so here's what I'm going to do. So these are kind of this kind of step action. So I'm going to do this step, and then I can do this step, like that. Now, I'll wait until the end, but I'm going to make, these are going to become forested hills. These will become grassy hills, but we'll deal with that afterwards. All right, 2 and another 1. Oh, this is kind of perfect, actually. So 2 is some grasslands, which is perfect. That's maybe not perfect, but it's good. Did I use that? What did I use that? That's fen. I like the grasslands where it gives me. That's the one. There we go. 1. Oh, you know what? There we go. I must have used the wrong one. 1, 2. And then another 1. So we get another swamp. So where's my swamp? Where's my swamp? Not Savannah. There we go. We'll go right there. That woods is not going to look so lonely when I change those hills up. All right, a 5 and a 2. So I got more. And this is, so remember just to keep in mind, right, this is we're doing prompts, right? So if I have more mountains, which I'm probably gonna just do like this, I think. So I got another 5. So yeah, I'll just put those in first, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll upgrade this guy, give him a hat. Like that. That works for me. And then I need, 2 was more grasslands. So I need more grasslands. And I could do these over here. Which might make sense. Let's just do that. All right. 5 and 1 more. 5. Oosh. And a 1. 1 is another swamp. Where could I put another swamp? See, now I'm wondering if I should have. Well, I can do that. This is starting to turn into like a really big swamp. Which I guess is cool because, adventure area, all that. I got more mountains. I want to put them in. Can't fit them all in. I'm gonna re-roll the mountains. I don't really have room for a nice big swath of mountains. Let's see if I can get some of those stuff. So I got 3, which is forest. All right, that's good. I'll stick that, I think, maybe right in there. So I'm gonna forest, and I'm gonna go boom, 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 like that. Right. And then now we just have some, oh, we have some areas down here. So I could fill this in. I could put in more forest because that would fit. I mean, the thing is you're supposed to kind of put, I really want you to use these. Ooh, I finally got a 6. Use these however you feel the need, you want to. So I don't want you to feel with these things like you're trapped with those. If something else makes more sense, once you start filling in most of your hex map, you're not going to want to use the generic prompt. You're not going to want to have swamp in every little space. I mean, you could put some other things in there, but I guess so. While I'm thinking about it, so I've got these, I think features is where your stuff is. Yeah, so I've got that. Go back to classic. And I think I'm going to use, I keep forgetting what square is a castle. So I'm just going to use the square. Let's see. Yeah. Where's my square? Don't they have one? I thought for sure they do. Or is it not in classic? All right, I guess I'll use whatever. I'll use the fancier ones. That's fine. Building. Military. How much is there? I know there's the old castle thing here somewhere. Settlements. What is that? Symbol of what? What are you symbolizing? I don't know. What is that? Is that I would love if I could. What does it say if I configure? Oh, that looks good. I see. Okay, we'll go with that one. That's fine. All right. We'll got to put that there. And now I get a castle and a lair. Sorry, I got a castle or a lair. So I got number 2 also. I got some more grass. I will put the grasses in first just so I can see where that is. Grass. And, I'm just going to fill that one up. And I'll just stick one there. There we go. I'll split them up, but I'll use it there. Now, I'm going to roll to see. Now I can roll my 2 6s. Yellow is rows. What did I say? Yellow, orange is columns, yellow is rows. For where this yellow is, let's see. Hold on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a layer in here. That works well. That works very well. I keep wanting to drag and drop. All right, so we got that there. Let's roll some more stuff. 6 and 2. So we got another castle or lair. What's 2? Some more grasses. Yeah, I'll just put some. Let's put some grasses up there. Grassland. Just split them up. Boop, boop. Good. And then I got another possible lair or castle. I rolled the same thing. What the heck are the chances of that? What did I say? Orange columns, yellow rows. Orange columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yellow rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's something else here which actually makes sense. So we'll put a feature. We'll put one of these. What was it? There. Oh, that's handy. Let's see. Oh my gosh, another one. 2 and a 6. Boy, all the grasslands are coming out now. All right. Well, we'll put in the grasslands first. We'll put them down there. Give it a chance for something weird. Oops. And then we got to. Where is this? Is it a castle or room? 2 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2 here. So I'm going to put a lair. Suppose I could put a ruin or something else to snazzy it up, but I'll just go there. Oops. And drag that there. Okay, we got 2 spots left. 1 and a 5. 1 is a swamp. 5 is more mountains. I'm going to fill out the mountains, I think. I think we got enough of a swampy thing going on. Okay, terrain. Where are the mountains? So you know what I do? I'm gonna kind of cheat. So I'm gonna use the 4, but I'm gonna upgrade these. It's kind of like if I'm overlaying, I feel like I can upgrade them instead. So I'm gonna make those more white peat. Okay. So we got our basic map. Now I can fill in some things I want to fill in. So I mentioned here, I like to look at some of these and look at the different terrains and kind of tweak them. So for these hills, I'll keep those since I feel like these are more foothills. Well, I mean, I'll give them the grasses. So I'll give that grasses, and I will make them grassy hills. I'll keep those as sort of foothills. Yeah, and then I will, let's see, what else will I do with these? I'm gonna make, say, maybe I'll make all these forest mountains. Whoops, oh, they're forest hills, not forest mountains. My bad. Forest hills. Here we go. Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. So there we go. So now it doesn't feel quite so severe. I know this is a little bit big. You can't see this. So we got some kind of hills, different sorts of hills. And we don't have to necessarily have them as in terms of, they don't have to be totally different terrains, but you could do something like, oh, well, in those we'll combine forest with hills. In terms of, encounters and whatnot. All right, now we can do some roads. Put some roads in. I'm going to keep on line. I'm going to change this from river to road. How big are these? I forget sometimes. Okay, 10. Let's make it 5. And so here I also wanted to snap to points on the grid. So I don't know if I just want to connect the hexes. Yeah, basically, it's going to be pretty easy. It's just going to go. And I really could just almost do it in one segment. Kind of thing. Right. Or should I have it zig around? Maybe I'll have it zig around just so that you don't lose. I think we all know what it's doing. Like that. I mean, who's to say what's going to happen in time? This seems, maybe there's a pass that goes through here. I don't know. Not feeling it. Not feeling that that feels like a place people are going to be going. So this might be a natural kind of border where there's not an organized road going through. There's probably maybe we could say that it's the road would kind of snake off that way. Maybe that would make this a more important center if there was, oh, we're coming around. You got the kind of mountain coming this way, coming around, and the river going down. I don't know, because it seems like to me we could have that. So maybe I'll do that. I'll have another road. I mean, maybe that is the pass. Like that. And we're riffing here, right? This is kind of the whole point of these prompts. I've done my duty into the prompts, but I'm doing more because I like more. So I'm going to put a watchtower if I can find the symbol. No, it's somewhere. There's a tower kind of symbol. Right? Did I miss it again? What am I doing? I don't need a lighthouse. Let's see. There we go. We're going to put it right. It seems bigger than this one. Well, is there a more appropriate? Maybe I need a more. Is there more castle? I guess I could probably use that one. I don't know the difference. Fort. Oh, that is castle. All right. All right. So let's do. Oh, do I have to do that? Delete. How does that work? Oh, select. Delete. Okay. I got you. Now let's put the castle in there. We're going to select, delete, and we're going to put another castle in there. There we go. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas or something. All right. So we have this some kind of road comes around, hugs the mountains. Got this plains over here, and then as it's kind of this area being the more like maybe like military, I guess I could put in a border for this kingdom, which kind of might help. You know, why not? Let's go ahead and put in a polygon. We'll use border red. Again, I know that doesn't need to be that big. And then, so now I'm going to put this border, which will be kind of our, what do you call it? Our area that's kind of settled, or I guess controlled. I don't know what's the best way to put it. Maybe they would claim kind of to the, well, I'll just use the around the hex. Yeah. And definitely to the river is another good border. And then I'll swing around. Okay. So yeah, that's good. Let me see. Let me turn the opacity down. Oh, that's nifty. Yep, turn the opacity down. Do I want to dash it? Maybe just to tags border above terrain. I know there's a dash thing. Oh, there it is. Simple. Or is it dotted? Yeah, dotted's good. Okay, so now we have our civilized area versus our, I don't know, civilized is not the right word. Settled, dominated, controlled, maybe controlled, subjugated. There's a little water, cold water for the working man. All right. Well, since I'm here, I've got stuff. Let me switch things around a little bit. So I'm going to switch views so you can see my wonderful face until I figure out the next. Because right now we're kind of done, but I want to do more. So let me reconfigure things to get that part done. So what can I do? Let me see here. I'm going to bring this over here. Going to go to Ouija, which is my whiteboard app of choice. Get that logged in, and what is this? Create an empty board. We'll call this hex-map prompt 1. Create. All right, I will output this as an image. First, let me save. Export image. Yeah, continue. I don't know if it helps, but I raise up the DPI. Let's see, hex map prompt 1 map. Hex map prompt 1 map. That's a little bit unwieldy, but hex map prompt 1 map, great. I'll switch over here. I can drop this in. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. Now let me just move stuff over. Now I think should be good to switch back over to window. Okay, now we've got our in the whiteboard with the hex map. I'm still getting some other materials ready, but at least we can kind of see the hex map. Let me see, what else do I want? What do I want? I have? Oh, yes. Okay. So let's. All right. Oh, yeah. So I can. Well, we already determined. I have some more complex rules for doing some things, but I'll roll for some hazards. Let me see. Determine. Yeah, so I'm going to roll for some hazards using. I don't really have a way to show this. Well, no, I don't want to do that. Can I? Where's my? Try to put this over here. Oh, you know what? Here, let me do this. This should work, right? Yep. Yep. Okay, good. I might need to shrink you down though. So this area I'm calling the settled area, and the rest of it is going to be wild. So I'll roll to see if there's anything else in these, and I will just use one of these. Wild wilderness. Keys. Oh, you know what? Let me do something else. Let's get some. Let's get some. Let's get some things set up first. So we'll get some. We'll put that here. I'm going to change the color because yes, and we'll do wandering creature. We'll do creatures. All right, now I don't have any particular idea for this. So I'm just going to use BX. I have the physical book in front of me, so that's what I'm going to use. So apologies, I'm not going to too much stuff to flip back and forth. But I'll be rolling on the wandering creature tables, which see the wandering creature tables are on. If you want to follow around, they're on X 57 and 8, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, 57 and 8. So I need a couple of different dice. I need a D. I got a D12. I need a D8, which is not that. That's a D10, not that. Where's the D8? No, obviously I've got D8s here somewhere. Never when I need you. Oh, there's D12 again. There's a D8. Okay, got a D8. All right, so let's go for. Oh, you know what? Oh, actually, that's fine. I will these lists. So let's add them. I'm just going to, I like to do this a certain way, but I like to give these titles. So we'll do. These will be grasslands. I'm just going to use, and I'm going to do simple six-sided die kind of thing for. So here's the deal. I guess let me explain. Let me explain what I'm doing. I am going to roll on the charts that are on page X57, X58 of the expert rules. That's going to give me creatures. Those rules require 2 dice. Usually it's a D8 and a D12. There might be a couple of different ones, but basically that's it. One, the D8 is for the type. So you roll for there's a column for terrain, and that will give you the type of creature, humanoid, flyer, et cetera, different ones. And then the D12 is usually which one of that. So for example, for the first one, I rolled a 9 on the D12 and a 3 on the D8. So the D8 comes first. So I'm on the grasslands. I get 3. That means humanoid. Then I got rolled 9 on the D12, which for humanoid is on this page, actually. 9 is orcs. So we got orcs. I'm just going to repeat this. Hey, John Miller. No worries. The hex sizes. Yeah, John, I've gotten into the habit of using 3 mile hexes. I started off kind of a classic 6 mile hex person, but I've come to appreciate 3 mile hexes. And the reason why, and I've talked about this, I don't know if you follow my main channel. Oh no, where did die go? She dropped it down on the floor. Where the heck? Oh, there it is. Oh, let me just pick that up before I lose it. 3 mile hexes basically mean that one hex is essentially the size for the smallest kind of settlement. So I'm going back and I like, especially for it's not like I'm anti-fantastical stuff, but I kind of like a more, I guess, at least the landscape to be more kind of, I don't know, down to earth, so to speak. So the smallest settlement type is kind of that village, which has a castle, some kind of stronghold and a village. You could potentially have walled villages, could also substitute depending on the society around there. But, for kind of ye old sort of feudal medieval system. And basically the inside of 3 mile hex, which is, I think, either around 7 or 8 square miles, actually fits really well with, I think, numbers that I've seen from various sources on basically amount of land to support basically like a single, like small feudal holding. Whereas you have a village that supports a stronghold with a single kind of knight type character. So 3 miles. And so I just like that. So everything can have 3 miles. You obviously have to scale up your, whatever your travel, if you're going, hex-based travel, you need to scale that. But I just find for that kind of stuff, it really works well. Yeah, John says about the old maps. Yeah, the Darlene maps, I know, 30 mile hexes. It's huge. I mean, people like a lot of different ones. Some people like, hexes as basically an abstracted, how far you could move in a day. But that doesn't work for me because I like to use hexes for all kinds of things. And I think that distance moved in a day, I think works great if you're just worried about the party's movement. But then to me, it's like, well, what if the party is now on flying mounts? Like, how's it work? Or what if I want to see, like, what's the range of a dragon? Like that. I'd rather have it be something concrete where I can just say, oh, hey, as a crow flies. It's, it's like a number. I like to have the kind of the basis in some kind of mile, league, whatever. Then it just be kind of how far you can travel a day. Because to me, that might change a lot. Obviously, people deal with different things, and it's fine. But this is my personal kind of comfort. Yeah, in terms of breaking down, so John's talking about breaking down the 30 mile hexes into 3 mile hexes. Yeah, that's a lot. It gets to be a lot of work. Like that's probably what I would do is if you're in the wilderness, you could probably have bigger hex sizes, maybe even go with the 30 mile hex, and then really only when it's going to get. I guess the way I would do it is, and I know you didn't ask what I'm saying, telling you anyway. The way I would do it is when the party's just traveling, I guess use the 30 mile hex and just use it. If the party gets to somewhere like an adventuring location or somewhere of interest or where there's a town or a village or whatever kind of settlement, then I would look and say, okay, now I'm going to break down this 30 mile hex into 6 or 3 mile hexes because now I want to get in deeper. I also find that 3 mile hex means I think it's pretty good. It's enough room for abstraction, but still it's not huge. 6 mile hexes, people don't really realize this. They think, oh, it's just 6 miles. Like that's inside those hexes. It's like 30 square miles. I mean, it's a lot. And then you look at how much land is in a 30 mile hex. And like, it's a crazy amount of land. And when I think sometimes we think numbers like that are small because we're used to driving on the highway or something. We're going, oh, it's 30 miles away. Like it's nothing. Right. But when you look at that and, go to a map, go to your town, your city, wherever you live, and then go out there and say, well, let's go, like, take wherever you are, put yourself on the map, and then draw a hex or draw some lines 6 miles out, or depending on that, whatever, you could figure out the hex, you at the center. It's a lot of ground. It's a lot of ground. Well, this is some coffee that's almost in the dregs, also for the working man. All right, so we got orcs. Now I got 6 and, I'm rolling d6s. Why am I rolling d6s there? All right. 4 and 6. So I'm still in the grasslands because I'm going to get 6. 4 is animal. And then 6 for the animal means giant hawks. That's fine. Hawk. Giant. All right. 3 and 5. So 3 is, again, humanoids. We got some more humanoids here. 5 is goblin. All right. Now, I'm not editing these yet. I could You know, you could self-edit yourself as much as you want, but it's good to just get things down, and then you can kind of look at, and then obviously once you get these, I'm going to be rolling on these. So some of these are still all just potential. It's not even stuff that is necessarily going to end up on the map. Hey, Pete. All right, 6 is, ooh, I got an unusual. An unusual means for the grasslands, or no, there's not even one. I got 10 werewolves. Intriguing. And then, all right, one more. 2 and, whoops, yeah. So 5 on the D8 means animal again. And 2 on animal for the grasslands means boar. All right. And then the last one. Whoops. Well, hey, John, thanks for hanging out. Good luck. Oh, all right, I'll roll this again. 1 and a 5. 1 is men, and 5 is berserkers. Okay. All right, so there's our, there's our grasslands. We're going to add another one in here. And we'll call this forest. And I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to do this for the terrain we have. You know, it seems like a lot, but not really. Grasslands covers a lot of ground. Forest, I think I have swamp, and then I'll do, maybe I'll just do hills and mountains. I think hills and mountains tend to be, oh, and there's rivers too. Well, whatever. We'll go through it. It doesn't take that long. It takes more time probably because I'm talking through it than if I were just rolling dice. Okay. So this is forest, 1 and a 7. So 1 I think is men, right? For forest, yeah. Woods is, and then 7 for men is a cleric. So there's a cleric maybe living in the woods. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. No. Okay. 4 and 10. Didn't I get 4 and 10 already? But now we're here. So we get insect. And 10 for insect is black widow spiders. Spider. It's interesting they make the cut. They don't seem like you'd be, I mean, they're so small. I mean, granted, they could kill you, but I might change that to a giant spider thing. We'll see. 3 is humanoid, and 5 for humanoid in the woods is a hill giant. Ooh, I like that. Giant hill. 4, 6 and 2. So 6 is animal. 2 is boar again. So we got boar. That's fine. 5, we got 2 and 11. 2 is, ooh, we got a flyer, and it's 11, so it's a high level, high. Let's see. Does it have us go anywhere? Is anything good? For 11, it's a sprite. Oh, that actually makes, I'm down with that. And then the last one, whoops, 6 and 1. Animal and antelope. Maybe I'll change that to deer. I don't know. There's forest, and then now we'll do swamp. All right, swamp. What you got? 7 and 5. I can put this in a better spot so I can see it better. Okay, I'll have to turn my head so much. So 7 for the swamp is insect, and 5 under insect is driver ant. I'm going to look that up. What exactly do driver ants do? 3 and 4. 3 in the swamp is humanoids. 4 lizard men. All right. Oh, look, a lizard folk. I like to use lizard folk. Ooh. 7 and 5 now gives me insect again. And 5 Oh, driver ant. All right. That might be, maybe the main thing is the driver ant versus the lizard folk. 4 and 7 in the swamp. Swimmer, so some in the waters. Where's the swimmer? Swamp, I got a 7. Insect swarm. Well, maybe some kind of biting insects. I haven't gotten anything truly strange. I guess I'm just not rolling those. All right, 7. Dang, I was 1 off dragon. 7, other insect. 4, man, driver ants. Boy, the driver ants are all over this. All right, 8. 8 is a dragon. We got a dragon. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And where is the dragon? Where's the dragon? I got a hydra. Wow. Okay. We'll see if it ends up showing up. All right, so in our forest, so yeah, we've got 3, right? We got orcs, giant hawks, goblins, werewolves, boars, and berserkers, potentially the grasslands. We've got clerics, spiders, giants, boars, sprites, and antelope in the forests. Lots of driver ants, potentially some lizard folk, insect swarms, and a hydra potentially in the swamp. Pete says they've gone back and forth on plain versus detailed encounter tables. Now they tend towards very plain lists like here. Now I'm using a table based on I Ching divination to give sparks to encounters. Yeah, I agree with you. I really think it's I think the more I'm playing in my own, let me say this, the more comfortable I am with the material, the less I need. And I think this is probably pretty, and probably that sounds like, well, duh. But I think if you're running a module, right, you may not have that, you may not have gotten yourself to that kind of deep understanding that you just haven't internalized it so much. And so then I can see, for me, only talking for me, in that circumstance, having more details helps because I don't have it firmly internalized. Once I've had some time with it or just been rattling around, like now, going back, I've run a few sessions with my cousins and Keep on the Borderlands. I don't need much because I have my ideas and I have things for Keep on the Borderlands. There's been stuff floating I've been reading and, in the Keep on the Borderlands in some way or another for 40 years. So coming up with like, why are the goblins, what are the goblins doing, whatever, totally fine. But if someone threw me a module and said, hey, run this at a con, let's say, we have an emergency. Todd, can you run this module people signed up for at this, now? Then, and I'm like, I have 5 minutes to look it over and then the details are going to help because I'm going to be overwhelmed with a bunch of stuff. I got a lot of things going on. And then having the encounter that helps me with that, I think would be very valuable to me. So, but I guess my approach usually stems from the fact that 99.99% of the time, I'm running my own stuff. I don't tend to run modules. I mean, now I'm running some that I wrote, that I've written, but that's different. That's kind of like, I've just written down what I would run. So it's not the same. So I see both sides of it, I guess. Like, I think there's value in both. And I think maybe ideally it would be great to have both, but I'm also starting to think, and this is kind of like my hot take, that for a module, an adventure, why not just have the encounters? What I mean is, I know sometimes modules will give you all these tables to roll on for, like, roll your random encounters, but I'm wondering, roll for this. I'm wondering why. Why not just give me one version of the experience that's already rolled up, but then put an appendix where I can roll my own, if that makes sense. Because it just seems like that's just, like, for most modules, because I think to me, it's like, well, if you're a designer, putting it in table form makes it very replayable for a person, no doubt. And that's why I would say keep that stuff in the appendix. But let's be real. Most modules, how many times are people going to run them? They're probably going to run them once. If they really like it, maybe twice. And that would maybe be years apart. Maybe a third time. So giving people the tools to say, hey, we want to write your own counter, change them, here it is. But then, like, here is just this thing that you can just run, and you don't have to stop to roll randomly if you don't want to. Like, you still can't. I would say, put your tables in the appendix and say, hey, if you want to do this, you can. But if you also just want to run it and just say, I've done that, like I could literally sit there with a game, say adventure, and say, here, me as the author, I'm just going to go ahead and roll up the turns and what happens in those turns. The same thing you would be doing at the table, but I'm just going to do it for you. And you can roll it up on your own, but here's 100 turns worth of this is what's happening. So you can just go down my list and do that. And sure, if you go down my list and you run it 8 times going down my list, it's going to be the same each time. I mean, it's always going to be different because players are going to do different stuff, but you know, in terms of the GM side. But I think if I give you that kind of list, like here's a worksheet that's got everything for you, and then here are the tables. If you want to roll in the tables or if you want to shake it up, then you can do that too. It just seems like, you know, I don't know. A lot of times I think that they leave stuff for the GMs to roll on, and I wonder, like, do we need to, you know, what does that do? Because as an author, you're going to probably play this thing. You know, I see people, they take their adventures, they're going to go to cons, they're going to run them 5, 10, 15, 20 times, whatever, a lot. And then, you know, other folks aren't. Pete says that they understand the point, but sometimes we can provide sparks you hadn't thought of and surprise you. No doubt. Pete, no, I totally get that. And like I said, I would never say forego the tables, but I also think that a lot of that surprise is going to come when you read it, you know, you go through it anyway. You know, because if you had everything set up, then you could play it. And like some people do that, right? Where they'll play it and they won't read through the whole thing. They'll just be like, you know, I'm just going to play it. And I mean, some modules are actually set up that way. I haven't played those, I don't know if it works. But I don't know that you necessarily lose that so much. Again, like when you're doing it over and over again, right, then I think you're going to want that. But I think the first time you run it, and this is what we often advise anyway, if you're getting to be in a point where you're, because I will often say, look, if you're having issues or, you know, you want to prepare, just roll a bunch of stuff in advance. Because then you get to think about in your brain, okay, I've got orcs, I got goblins, and I wrote, and they're right next to each other. Okay, what could that mean? And then you can kind of think about it. When you're doing it at the table, sure, you get that. It's a different kind of thing. But I think, especially for some folks who find they really, the prep, that they don't love the kind of flying by the seat of the pants, I would recommend just doing it. At this point, I'm saying, well, you could, as a creator, just do that same thing. Like, here, make a worksheet. Because you can always ignore the worksheet. I mean, that's the thing, is no one's forcing you to use it. Don't use the worksheet then, right? Just throw it in the trash and then use the tables. But by having the worksheet, you might make it a lot easier for a lot of folks. And, you know, I don't know. It's just something to think about. That's something I've been thinking about. That is the end of my coffee. Back to water. Let's go and roll some more. So what have I got? I got grasslands, I got forest, I got swamp. I'm going to need some. So what I'm going to do is I'll do mountains and hills. Should I do that? There's only 2 hill hexes. Should I just do mountains and hills as one? No, I'll do them separately. What am I doing? Why not? It doesn't take very much. So let's do, okay, we'll do hills. What are you doing? Oh yeah, tarot. Tarot's cool. I Ching is, I don't really know anything about, but I mean, I know I've seen books and stuff, but I've never read it. Also very cool. I've been getting into runes because my rule set using runes, so I've been learning more about runes, so kind of lean into that more. But yeah, all these different, you know, those things are great because they give you that, they have that inspirational bit, right? Even if you don't, just looking at the pictures, even not knowing, if you didn't know anything about tarot and you picked up something, it was like the magician and something, it's like, ooh, what is that? You know, so I find they're very cool. Who is texting me? No. Ooh. Okay, I'll get that later. I got some One Ring books just arrived. So hills, I rolled a 7 and a 5. So, oh, dragon again. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Is it another Hydra? No, it can't be. Green dragon, a green dragon in the hills. I think it don't need to be so small. Green dragon in the hills. What else we got? 6 and an 8. So 6 in the hills is humanoid. 8 is goblin again. Maybe, wait, is it mountain? Let me see. Some of these I think have mountains and hills together. I think, do any of them have mountains and hills separately? Animal might. Animal. Does animal? No. Animal, are they missing it? They made a mistake because in the animal subtables, it's got clear or grassland is one column, woods is one column, river is one column, barren and mountains is one column, Desert is one column, inhabited is one column, jungle, and then prehistoric. Oh, hold on. My cat scratching the door. Hold on a minute. Hold on, Betty. I'm coming. Come on. I know, Betty. I'm trying to do something. All right. Had to let Betty the cat out. She was going to drive me crazy with that. So what did I roll? 6 and 8. Was that the last one I did? So maybe I'll have them as 1. Yeah, I did. Okay. Dragons are always good. Absolutely. 3 and 5. Okay, so 5 is first. Animal. And then 3 under animal is white ape. Well, you know that's going to be good. 6 and 7. So 6, humanoid again. 7, gnomes. I'm kind of gnome. I'm gnome agnostic. I know a lot of people either love them or hate them. I think Matt Finch, I think, is famously anti-gnome. I'm not anti-gnome, but you don't really care one way or another. Animal again. And this time I got a deuce. Oh, that's humanoid. That's animal in the mountains. Oh, it's white ape again. We got 2. So chances are white apes are going to show up. And now the last one for the mountains and the hills, I guess. 2 and 9. 2 is a flyer. Okay. Did something interesting as a flyer or something else? Oh, a Pegasus. Ooh, nice. Okay, so that's, and then I think those are hills. We'll do hills / mountain. Okay. And then I will do river. They don't have one for road. It'd be cool if they had a road. I could do inhabited. Maybe I'll do inhabited for the... Oh, no, some kind of table, subtable men. Oh, you know, there is an encounter table for inhabited. Oh, I will do that. I don't think I've really messed with that one before. Well, let's do river first. Let's see. Yep, river. And then... All right, what do we got in the river? Let's go. 4 and 2. Insects. Oil beetles. Beetle oil. All right. 8 and 3. That should be good. 8 is a dragon again. And 3 is a blue dragon. So we definitely got some... We got our dragons. No dungeons, but we got dragons. I'll go cocked. Okay, 8 and 3. Oh, dragon again. Wow. Blue dragon again. So there's a really good chance a blue dragon is going to show up. Well, pretty good chance. 4 and 3. 4 in the river is insect. And 3 on the insect is tiger beetle. So there's some beetle on beetle. There's a beetle war going on. Beetle bum. Beetle Bailey. 7 and 2. 7 is an animal and 2 is... 2 is a boar. That makes sense because we got boars around. All right, and then here we go. 2 and 10. 2 is a flyer. And 10 is a small rock. And now I'm going to do inhabited, which I must have used it before, but I don't know. I feel like I just don't do it for inhabited. I have not used it for inhabited areas. So let's see what we get. Here we go. 1 and 2. So 1 in inhabited is men. 2 is a trader. Traitor! Not that kind of traitor. Cocked. 5 and 4. So 5 in inhabited is also men, which is going to be a lot. And 4 is adventures. Ugh. Or adventurer. 8 and 9. 8 in inhabited. Man, is a dragon. Wow. And 9. Hydra. Oh, man. That's intriguing. That is definitely intriguing. Just to keep it, I'm putting everything in singular, so I'm just going to keep it singular. One party as opposed to multiple adventures. No, I'm being pedantic. 7 and 7. 7 is an animal. Animal inhabited is giant rats. That makes sense. Oh, 5 and 11. 5 for inhabited is men again. 11 is cleric. So we got this cleric running around. Pete says they go through the tables and arrange them so that the higher entries are higher HD. Well, this, I'm not actually concerned with that right now. You'll see what I'm going to do with these tables. These tables are not, I'm going to use these tables. Well, you'll see. I got one left. All right, 4 and 11. So 4 for inhabited is also men. 11 for inhabited. I think that was also clerics. We got the cleric. Okay. Okay. So now we have, I think this is all the creature types. So now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna key up some hexes. And I think what I'm gonna do is just gonna use a flat. So I'm thinking about for like, so we have these 2 layers on here. Oh, well, I guess let's roll up what we get. Let's just go ahead and roll up things up there. So I'm gonna do let me make a little table up here so I can remember. I think what I'm gonna do is basically the kind of 30, 30, 30. Or do I have it up here? Let me see. Hold on. I know I have wild name has like, yeah. I think what I'm going to do is, so we'll put our kind of, our contents generator. We'll do a D6. So let's go 1 to 2, nothing, 3 to 4. Let's try this. Let's see. 3 to 4, some kind of hazard for a site. 5, creature. 6, roll and roll again and roll. 2 and maybe I should do, hold on a minute. No. Ugh, how did I spell creature like that? What is going on? Let me see this. So actually, no, let's do this. Sorry, I'm getting this. So let's do 1. 1 is a hazard. 2 is a site. 3 is a creature. Okay. Did I have something else? What would be 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll 1d3 times 2 and combine. 5 to 6. Nothing. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna use. Now, of course, you don't have to do this for everything. You know, I like I have fun with this. I have fun with this stuff, so I'm gonna do that. But you know, this is where you kind of like hey, is it fun for you to do this? Then do it. If it's not fun, you know, don't do it. So for this hex, I'm gonna roll d6. I got a 6, so nothing. All right. Nothing. And this is 0.0001. So I'm gonna the stuff that's outlined in red. That's the I'm gonna use the like settled, which I'll use the inhabited table. So these are just for the wilderness key. So I'm gonna be doing everything outside the red. So now let's see if I get something with this one. I got a 3. So that is a creature. So now I'm in the mountains. Now I can roll so we can see what our first creature that actually is here, which is 5. So we got white apes. I gotta look up white apes. Is that from John Carter? Where are the white apes from? Or is that just kind of your old Conan? So I'm just gonna put white apes in there. We'll figure out more about it. I just want to get okay, and then I'll just roll these together. So I'm going to roll 2 dice, yellow for the type of thing, and then red for the creature if I have a creature. 2, so I have a sight. And this I can use this because I think I have a thing for sights, don't I? I do. So in this case, since I got sight, I'll use this table here. Oh, you know what? I'll hold on. Watch. See if I can do this. Yeah, I should be able to. There we go. I'll throw that there. So I got a sight and then 6, mysterious portal. Obviously to where, whatever. And, and this is where I could go back, which I probably will. We can switch back into Worldographer and put some of the stuff on the map. That's okay. 0.003. I'll roll on 2d6. I got, what did I say? Yeah, 5 is the thing, which is nothing. Okay. Nothing happening. Zero 0.004. Nothing again. Rolled a 5 and a 2. And this is the last one in this column. Oops. Because it starts at 0 instead of 1, like my 0, 005. All right. 1 and 4. So, whoops. 1 is a hazard, and I think, do I have a hazard table here? I do. All right, so now for the hazards. I got a 1, so it's an environmental hazard, and I got a 6, so it's something to do with the sun and the temperature. So we'll call it the hot plains. Sun, heat, sun, heat, hazard. Okay, the hot plains. Actually, I'll put that in there too. I like that. When you can come up with a name. There we go. Okay. That's row number 1. So now we get to, I know doing this, I wish there was different ways to arrange these. I want to keep the list, but I'd love to change get it to be more of a grid. Okay, so we're on this next thing, 2 and 3. 2 is a site, and 3 for site is a ruined tower. Call it the Old Watch. Got another one. 001.001. We get 5 and 3, so nothing. Oops. Get rid of you. Get out of here. You, this is going to be, I'm going to have to break this up into a couple of things. Otherwise it's going to get out of hand in the length. Well, this thing expands, I guess, so it doesn't matter too much. 3 and 2. So 3 is, just going to be remembering this. 3 is a creature, and I rolled a 2. So hills, mountains, they're goblins. So we're just going to put goblins. Goblins, exclamation point. Take a little bit of water. No worries, Pete. I'm just hanging in there. I'm just rolling dice. Trying not to lose on the floor. Which, did it roll underneath? Oh, it rolled underneath somewhere that I can't get to. Son of a gun of a. All right. I need a backup die. Sometimes I just want a die that's just 1 to 6. Nothing fancy. All right, we'll use this one. So, gosh, where did it go? It just bounced right under my. I have some little drawers underneath my desk, but things can get under there. It can be a pain. All right. Yeah, we got goblins, gobbos. Let's see. This is 001.003. 4 and 4. So 4 is what? 4 is, ooh, so this is the first time I get to roll twice and combine. All right. So I rolled a 1 and a 3. So a hazard and a creature. So the creature, 6. Or wait a minute, 3. Hold on. 1, 3. Let's find that this 1, 3. So we're in the hills. So I rolled a 6. So we get a Pegasus. But what's the hazard? Right? Because it was a 1. Right? Yeah, it's a hazard. So what's the hazard here? So we got these hazard types. So let's roll these again. 4 is a terrain-based hazard, and 5 is it's overgrown. All right, so some kind of overgrown. Whoops. Stop that. Oh, don't. No. You inside. Yes. I guess this plus overgrown. Okay. Let's see. 1, 4. We're down at that mountain. Oh, I see. Because I want the internal one. 1.004. 3 and 6. Oh, so sorry. So 3 is rolled. No, 3 is a creature. And 6 is. Oh, Pegasus again. Okay. And then the last one for this row. Oops. And then we get nothing. All right. Nothing. So we got 2. This one I got to remember. I'm not going to roll these right now. So, you know what? Let me, let's move the creatures. Let's move this over here. This hex keys. I'll just do 1. Can I duplicate this? I think I can. Can I? I can. All right. So now we're on 002. Okay, 002, nothing. We got nothing. Look at that. And then 002 again. Yeah, caltrop on the floor. Exactly, Pete. 4 and a 6. 4 is, so I'm going to roll 2 and combine. Let's see. So I basically got a 2 and a 1. Hazard and a sight. All right, so we don't know. White apes, goodbye. So the hazard Well, let's see. The site is. Oh, I can roll. Hold on, let's roll. All right. So the site is a mysterious portal again. Oh, interesting. So 0, 0. Oh, wow. I'm just going to link those together. But there's a hazard, which is it's a terrain hazard, and that terrain hazard is 2. There's a crevasse or ravine or we'll call it. Yeah, where are we? We're in the grasslands, so we'll call it a ravine. All right, so we have 2 mysterious portals. So it totally makes sense to me that these are going to connect. I'll just put in the note, right? Get it right there. Those 2 are definitely connecting. It's always nice when you get little things like that. All right, so then 0, 0, 2. And we got 5, so that's nothing. Yeah. Sorry. Nothing. 1 and a 2. 1 is a hazard. And the type of hazard is 2. Environmental hazard. And then environmental hazard is 3. Wind storms. So what is 2, 3? 2, 2, 3 is the castle. It's what I don't need. All right. What's the next one? Oh, wow, that's it. So those are all. So coming up, this is actually already gonna. All right, so I don't need. Okay, hold on. Whoops, sorry. So let's. Can I get rid of that? Yep. Yep. And this I need to be 3. And this has got the. Oh, that's cool because it's already a. That's great. Let's call it Storm Peak. Whatever. Come up with another name later. But we've got Wind Storm Hazard. Okay. There we go. And then the next one, 4 is roll twice and combine. 1 and 3. 1 is a hazard. 3 is a critter. Let's see. 1 is a hazard. 3 is so the hazard. Let me do the critter first. So the critter is, where are we? We're in 3, 1. So we're now in the woods. I could use the woods or the hills. Oh, where's my creatures? So, oh, did I roll? I'll roll again. I don't remember what I rolled. If I roll for creatures. So creatures, I get 5. So in the forest, that'll be a sprite. If it was in the hills, it'd be a white ape. I'm going to go with a sprite. In, let's see, 3, 2. So 3, 2 is the last one of this row that I need to do. Because the other ones are all, they're all settled. Let's see, 6 is nothing. So, and then I can get rid of these. Okay, right? So I did, yeah. No, I guess I can do another row. I guess I didn't need to delete those. I could have just, I'll just add them back in. So now we're on to, oops, 0, 0, 4, 0, 0, 0. We're into the grasslands. Whew, 4. Let's just roll twice and combine. I got a 1 and a 3. I keep getting 1s and 3s with those. So 1 is hazard, 3 is a creature. So what is the creature? We're in the grass. I rolled a 6. Creature in the grass is the berserkers. That's okay. But there's also a hazard, which is a terrain hazard, which is, I rolled a crevasse again. Where's the other crevasse I have? Ravines in 2-1. Oh, we're over here. Ah, it's interesting. Maybe there's a crack that kind of runs kind of through like that. All right, we'll go with ravine. That's kind of an interesting kind of thing. Oops. I keep hitting the wrong. Stop that. There we go. 004, 001 gives us, okay, 3, which is, I think that's just a creature, right? Yep. And then 6 on the creature. Is that berserkers again? Oh, where am I now? I'm in the woods. Antelope. Zero 4.002. All right, let's see. 4 and 5. So let's roll 2 and combine. 2 and 3. So this time we get a site and a creature. So the site 2 is a burial mound. And then the creature is 5. What is that? Where are we? 4-2. We're in the hills. Hills and forest. So 5 in the forest is sprites again. 5 in the mountains is white apes. So I guess I'll go with the sprites. Oh my gosh, look at it. It matches. See, because these two are next to each other. So look at that. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, level 1 of plan comes together. Now we're going to the swamps. See if these swamps are, how hazardous they turn out to be. All right, in the swamps. First swamp, 3 and 1, or 1 and 3. So 1 is a hazard. Type of hazard is a terrain hazard, and that terrain hazard is 2. There's cliffs. Well, that makes sense because there's, if we're looking at this one here, clearly we could see that these hills come to a set of cliffs there. So in that instance, it works pretty well. And then 4-4 is the last one over here. Zero 04, 004. And then here, it's cocked. 1 and 1. What's 1? 1 is a hazard. It's an environmental hazard. Oh, look at that fog mist. I'll make sure just to make notes. I know it's a mist hazard, even though I like cliffs. So I'll make sure it is a hazard. Okay, we're down into the last row. Three. I only need, yeah, get rid of you. Get rid of you. And I'm just going to do all the numbering ahead of time. 5. Hello. 5. Come on. 5. Oh, you're killing me, Ouija. 5, 0. 3 and 6. So 3 is roll. No, 3 is a creature. Where are we? Yeah, we're in the woods. We already know there's a lair here, so that's great. So, and then creature I got. And this is woods 6. Antelope. That's no fun. Antelope. Antelope lair? Let me roll that again. 4. Something worthy of a lair, Forest. Oh, boar. Oh, you know, I'm going to put the cleric in there. I don't know why I'm looking at it. There's a... cleric lair. Maybe it'll be some kind of evil priest, or maybe not even evil priest, just a priest. Something. Maybe there's some kind of shrine or some other holy spot there. We'll do that. All right, 5-1. Nothing. So sorry, white apes, you are gonzo. Two and 2. So 2 is a site, and 2 for a site is a burial mound. All right, 3. 3 and 6. 3 is a creature. What's 5, 3? 5, 3. Oh, we're in the swamp. So what's in the Hydra? Ooh, doggy. There we go. Hydra. 5, 4. We're on the grasslands. And there's nothing. And then finally, 5, 5. Roll 2 and combine. 3 and 3. 2 critters going at it. Where's 5, 5? Down in the grasslands. And the 2 critters are 1 and a 4. Orcs and werewolves. Wow. Well, there's a story. I don't know what this place is called yet. Okay, orcs v werewolves. I like that. Let me just get this. So now we can go back into Warlographer. And we can put some of the stuff in here. Let's kind of re-update the map. Can I do this to actual halfway? No, yeah, you stay there. Okay. So 0, 0, nothing, 1, they're white apes. I don't know what they're doing over there. I could roll. I don't think we've got the... I don't think BX has the in-layer check. Let me just see if they say anything for white. I don't know if white apes are actually in here or in basic. I think they might be in basic. Am I right? Apes, white. Yeah, so they've got... so here's the write-up in the basic about white apes. White apes have lost their color due to many years of living in caves. They are nocturnal, sleeping in the day and looking for fruits and vegetables at night. If creatures approach their lair, the apes will threaten them. If their threats are ignored, they will attack. They may throw 1 stone per round for 1d6 points of damage. White apes are non-intelligent. Sometimes are kept as pets by Neanderthals. Oh. So we have this layer here. I wonder if this is some kind of high... I'm trying to think what this could be. So this seems like, I wonder... I'm going to put a little cliff line here, I think. And maybe even the cliffs... I wonder if there's like a falls or something. Because we have this area here, right? This more kind of low... Maybe this is low lying. So I wonder if there's... If we look at and there's actually a cliff line... I don't know, maybe from here that kind of comes around like that. I know there's a way to do cliffs. He says a priest has been transformed to an antelope as a curse. That would totally work, actually. One thing oops, oh shoot, what the heck oh no, what did I do? No, shoot. Do I have to redo my polygon? Did I goof that? Hold on, I need to, whoops, no. Oh, interesting. I didn't know. Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize I could do that. Let me, my poor, all right, select, I gotta try to bring you back into shape. What is it? Control drag is to move. Oh, these got all out of whack. Alt, shift click is delete. All right, now see, this is where it's kind of like, where did they go wrong? Okay, I think, all right, I think that's how it's supposed to be. Whew. All right, let me just save that. Get out of here. Let's go to, where's my tab? Oh, man. No. I need, okay. No, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I don't need anything for the white apes. I think the white apes might live here. Oh, I was going to do, I forgot. Yeah, look, I totally spaced on what I was going to do. Totally got. Okay, I'm going to put in, so there's a preset here for, oh, it's not one. Right. Preset for border, but I use black. You tell it the line type, stroke type is elevation. And I want to go maybe, let's see if this works here. Here. I might know I'm gonna have to. There's a way to do the extra line options. So yeah, so width, distance. Oh yeah, length. Let's get the length way down. I think that's good. And then I think it's still going at opacity. I can turn the opacity up. Okay. So now we've got the cliffs hazard makes sense for 4-3, right? Yeah. And now we've got, it gives us another kind of interesting feature. It also sort of maybe this, why isn't the road or anything? What's going on? Well, it's because there's some pretty bad cliffs. Pretty bad cliffs over here. Or at least somewhat impassable. And then, they kind of die down. Maybe they really actually come around here, but I don't want to have too much black on black. There's probably another color I could use for that that might work well, but whatever. Got that. Turn that off. Okay. Let's see. So what are the things? So let's see. On hex 1, hot planes, there's a hazard. I think there's a hazard thing we can put, right? Isn't there a sun symbol or something? That's definitely a hazardy kind of symbol, right? Yeah, we'll stick. Oh yeah, the 4-3 had that hazard also. Now, that's more of, I don't know, cliffs. I don't feel like I can put that as a hazard. Okay. So we got white apes. Oh yeah, the mysterious portal 002. I think there's a pretty good portal symbol here. I think. Maybe. Is there? I thought there was something, but none of those look good. Let me go through again. What do we got? No, 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 no. A horseshoe? No. What is that? I don't know what that is. Cenite. Okay. I mean, you could use that as a portal, but it doesn't look. Um, what is that? Oh, whirlpool. Uh, waterfall. No, I could actually do that. I can place it freely. I would like to place. I wish, unfortunately, I can rotate it, right? Is that rotating? Oh, okay. No. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. No, no. How about you? 345 is that. I gotta lower it. It's probably not worth all that because it's just gonna make it. Well, let's see if I can get it to a nice size where it's not, where I can kind of keep it there. It's not distracting. All right. Well, don't need to place freely anymore. Okay, so there's that. Now, sorry, I still need. Well, wait a minute. There's the windstorm on 300, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. There's my windstorm. I still need my portal. That doesn't look like a. That's a, yeah, it's a tombstone. A star. Oh, magic portal right there. Where was mysterious portal? 002 here. And there was another. Where was the other magic portal? It was 2001. That's cool. Got to figure out what it means. Pete says on that I Ching stuff, they should just make a PDF and share it. Yeah, you should. All right, D88. So Pete has asked me to roll a D88. So let me get a 2D4 so I can. Or no, it was a 2D8. Yeah, D88. Dur. So I got a D8. So I got 53. 53 on the D88. Okay. Look at that. Oh, the ruined tower, the old watch. Where's our ruined tower? Is there one? There's got to be. Might just have one ruin, kind of, right? Settlement ruins. Yeah, I don't want settlement ruins. I want like a ruined tower. Damn it. But that might be it. What is that? What is that? Oh, city. All right, where was the ruined tower? 00100. Oh, yeah. Don't. Let's change that. There we go. Yeah, and a ring. Oh, no, not a ring. Can I put a. I just feel like it's hard to see. Here we go. Just because it's hard to see in the thing. All right, so you get the ruined tower over there. The portals. All right, so Pete's I Ching with the 50, whatever, 53, whatever. It says progress. The sun climbs and the shadow flees dawn. Herald ascending, or some, hold on. Progress. The sun climbs, the shadow flees dawn. Also the herald ascending, recognized, bright, advancing. Oh, those are cool. I like it. Definitely very, gives you good kind of images to inspire. All right, so so I got that. I got the Windstorm House. I got the Ruined Tower. Got the Pegasus and Overgrown. Where's 1-3? Is in this hills. Is in the hills. Interesting. It definitely, yeah, Pete says it gives those sparks. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, in hills, we got the Pegasus also overgrown. I wonder what the overgrown as the hazard would that be. I don't think I need to put it as a hazard. It's not. I feel like this one down here could be kind of deadly, but not. That one doesn't. It's just I just feel like that would make it harder to get around. But I think what I will do is I'll put as a layer. That's where I'm gonna put that as a layer for the Pegasus. I'm gonna say the Pegasi live there. They have their nest or whatever in this overgrown area, which is good for them because they can kind of fly in and out, and other things have a hard time getting in. So that to me makes sense. We got goblins in 1, 2 over here. That's interesting. Oh, that is interesting. I'll make a note of that. There's let's see. Oh, so sorry. So what are the things? Antelope, there's a ravine. I don't think there's a symbol for a ravine. What is that? Oh, cenote. I keep looking at that. And I'm like, what is it? It's a cenote. I should remember that. So what do they say? There might be a ravine feature. I was thinking there might be a ravine feature. I'm not sure how to put it in there though. I might need to draw it in. I might need to draw it in actually with these. So the ravine feature I was thinking would be 400 here and kind of cutting and here too. There would maybe be some like, I guess I'll just have it. I won't put it on the map. It seems like it'd be too complicated to get in there. I'm not trying to. If I was making a more artistic map, and maybe I will at some point, I could draw it in, but I'm just going to keep that. Oh, maybe I could put something. Hold on. Is there something I could put in there to kind of note it? Let me see. We go border. I guess border. Black. Line. Distance separated. I don't know. Could I? I don't know. I kind of would like one. Sorry, let's see if I can do this. How does this look? Eh. What? What are you doing? Okay, interesting. All right, now. All right, let's see if this will work. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Drag. Hold on. All right, I want to select this. We're gonna. Oh no! What did I do? No! Shoot. What I wanted to do was, sorry, I hit the wrong thing. It's control. I want to control drag. What? Maybe I'm not doing that right. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. Oh, there we go. Pete says the downside of some of these tools, you get stuck in the editing rather than creative stuff. Yeah, there's definitely like you got to kind of figure it out. Absolutely. No, wait, shift was to delete. There we go. All right. Let's see if this one I can get. Select this. Control shift is to drag. Actually, I think that works pretty well. Just get rid of snapped points for a minute. I mean, I think that kind of gets the point across, no? I mean, all things considered, it's definitely not aesthetically pleasing, but I think we get the idea that there's a ravine there. Pete says they're a coder and they prefer to create with writing by hand. Yeah, I agree. I don't have a good desk setup. If I'm going to be like, especially if I'm trying to stream, like if I'm on my own, like, yeah, I would just kind of write it down first. But for streaming, being able to have stuff and control it, I just don't have. I wish I had kind of a bigger space with some overhead cameras and I could do all that jazz. But at the moment, I can't. So trying to work with what I've got. But I agree with you. I like the tactile stuff. All right. So I got the ravine there. I've got the storm hazard portal. This is really interesting because it definitely leads to think that there's some kind of trail that follows the ravine. There's a portal bounce over here. I don't know what that. It's really interesting what that would be. These ruins here. I feel like these ruins, this ruin tower, should interact with this stuff somehow. And of course, this layer also. Like maybe it was originally there was. I don't know. Definitely has put in some interesting bits. Did the goblins, did they pass through one of these portals? That seems pretty cool. Like maybe they actually came through here and bloop ended up here. And now they're kind of encamped trying to figure out what to do. It's kind of pretty interesting. Like there, it's a limited number. Like, oh yeah, it's not like, and that, as a party, it could be, maybe they lost, they got lost. They're in these hills. They don't know how they came down, were coming, and then ended up over here. Was there any other? So we got the ravine, got the burial mound, and the sprites. Oh yes, let's go back. Is there a mound? I think there's the tombstones I could use potentially as a thing. Wouldn't mind like a mount, more of a moundy sort of thing instead of the tombstone. But I know we got. Was there somewhere there was standing circles? That's fine. But I think if I got to pick, I'll pick the tombstone over that. But if there's, yeah, I don't think there is. Yeah, okay. We'll pick the tombstone. The tombstone just reads to me a lot like the, I know it's got the line underneath, but it's very similar to the layer symbol. So we had the burial mound 4-2. We got the cliffs. I got the cliffs. We got the mist on 4-4. I'll just go ahead and put that there for mist. Kind of like weather. Yeah, it's a weather hazard symbol. Okay, and that's that. So then on this final one, we had the cleric's lair over there. Boom, got that. Nothing. Burial mound on 5-2. We got that. And look at that. It's kind of funny. You end up getting stuff next door to each other. The Hydra, yeah, definitely put Hydra. And then orcs versus werewolves down here, which we'll put. Is there a battle? Shipwreck? No, what is that? point of interest. What is that? Battle. What's that? Battle primitive? Just give me that. The werewolves, werewolves, and oh, Pete's. Thanks for the appreciation. Werewolves versus orcs is going to be kind of interesting because what are they doing there? What are they fighting? They ran into each other. What are they fighting about? Where are they going? Everything. So we got a pretty good. So let's see where we stand. Right. So we've got. I haven't keyed everything up totally, and I think maybe the last thing I'll do is now we can go back. Hey, Croco, now we can go back and kind of key up some of the stuff. But just in terms of the geography, I think we have a nice, interesting area. Right. I have to do the inhabited bits. I didn't do the inhabited pieces. So let's do that. I totally forgot. So I'll make another, I will duplicate. No, not like that. Duplicate you. And let's do the settled. Oh yeah, I got caps on for some reason. All right, so our settled hex keys are, whoops. Obviously we have a castle here, so there's some kind of settlement, but we'll see what else is going on. All right, so I don't need to roll. So we have a castle, so I don't need to roll for a hazard or a site or anything like that. I'm just going to roll for, well, I guess I'll roll if there's a critter. Let's see. Well, let's just see what we get. How about that? I got a 4, which is roll 2 and combine. 3 and a 2. 3 and 2. A site, which I already have, which is kind of funny. And then creature. All right, so inhabited. Creature is giant rats. All right. So we have a castle plus giant rats. Or I'll call it an estate, a manor. Manor plus giant rats. Maybe something's happening. That could be something that the party arrives and this is what's going on. There's giant rats. Let's see. The next one is 0204. And what do we have in 0204? 2 and 2. So 2 is a site and let me need my site thing again. 2 is a site. Oh, wait a minute. I actually know I copied that into Ouija. Don't need that to go there anymore. 2 is a site and 2, there's a burial mound. Oh, there's also a tower. Oh, well, I already have the tower, so, right? No, I'm in here. So there's another burial mound. Okay. I mean, we're already got hills, so that tracks. Now here we've got a watchtower. Maybe there's something else going on. 3 and a 1. 3, I believe, is a creature, and 1 in inhabited there's a trading. Maybe there's a... There's a trader. I imagine that maybe there's a toll. I would guess that there's tolling. Croco says there's always giant rats. That's true. I'm guessing maybe there's a toll thing here. And so maybe there's a trading party is getting ready to pay their toll, or maybe they can't. Something's going on with that. All right. Now we're going up to 3-3. So we started off here, and now we're following the lines. The thing, 3-3. Zero, 0-3, 0-0-3. Okay, 3, 3. 4 and a 1. 4 is combined 2. So we'll combine 2. I got 1 and 2, or sorry, 2 and 1. So I guess it doesn't really matter the order. 2 is a site and a hazard. So the the site is a, oh my gosh, barrel mounts again, and the hazard. All right, let me just write this down. So sorry. Wait, where was I? Oh shoot, I did. Oh, I'm down. Where am I? Here we go. 3, 3. So there's, all right. So barrel mound plus hazard. I'll roll the hazard again. Got a 2. So hazard. Environmental hazard, and that hazard is winds or storms. Winds or storms, the winds of change. 3, 3. Oh, look at that. Well, we already had winds, so that's kind of interesting. See, sometimes things do work out. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me. Interesting. A lot going on. 3, 4. I'll roll it just to see. Nothing. 6 and 4, so nothing. 3, 5. I guess I'll put it in there because I do need to note that there is a stronghold or something here. So this was 0.03.004. Just a manner. And then let's see, 0.005. What did I? Sorry, I'll roll this again so I can't remember. 2 and 4. 2. 2 is a site, and 4 sites. Over here, 4, a ruined castle. Well, that's pretty cool. And I kind of like it. We got some stuff going on here. Adding some, so let me find another ruin. What is that? City ruined. Yeah, well, I'll just use that one. All right, ruined castle. The winds of things that work out. Yeah, Croco, exactly. Sometimes it happens. We just got one more, which is this one here, 4005. So let's just add that in here. 004.005. And do we get something interesting or nothing? 4, so it's 2 and combine again. I got a 1 and a 3, so 1. Hazard and a creature. All right, hazard and a creature. This could be interesting. So let's see first. Let's see what the creature is. The creature in the grasslands. I got a 2. Giant hawks. Man, I almost should probably go. No, it probably makes sense actually. Not to be orcs. All right, giant hawks. Giant hawk plus. What's the hazard? Let me go back here. So hazard, terrain. Let's see, there's morass. Oh, it makes sense. Because, yeah, there's swamp right here, the river, so there's some kind of another kind of like a, what is this? Not a cenote. I don't want a cenote. Crater, not a crater. What's that? Ice flow? No, I don't want an ice flow. I'm using this for like windy weather stuff, so I don't want to put that there. There's not one for, what's that? It's like a fire? What is that? Hot springs? No, not hot springs. Not a cenote. Though I could probably use the cenote for that. There's nothing else for like a quicksandy kind of just muck. Maybe I'll just change the terrain. I could change the terrain too. What's this one? That's a waterfall, I think. Oh, seagrass. Uh, Settlement horseshoe. Cross. I mean, I could use the crater. I feel like the crater would kind of communicate a little bit. All right, I guess I'll just use the crater. I think that'll work. Plus morass. Progress says, could use the hex-map prompt to test the wilderness explore tables that on a main. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you should give it a go. Let me know how it works out. Sounds pretty cool. Okay. Whew, we got a lot going on here. So, I mean, all told, but I'm going through sources and stuff, and I took some extra steps, maybe that we don't have to, but I've got at least, oh wait, did I forget there was something else supposed to be with 3.3? What was it? What was 3.3? Oh, there was like a storm wind hazard. But, so start off with the prompt. Let's see, Pete says, rather than purely the wind, it could be that the players have to work to overcome the elements. Yeah, it's meant to be kind of hazard, right? So it's not necessarily that there's like some wall of wind that's like a trap. I mean, it could be a trap, but it's more like this is windy for some, or there's kind of stormy winds for some reason. The fact that there's burial mounds here, it'd be very cool if there was like a cold wind that just blew and maybe it blows. There's some interaction here that causes this area to be kind of really crazy, which seems pretty neat. That maybe there's something going on here, maybe there's something here, and there's like a clash of the winds or storms or some kind of, or this was mist, so this might be like mist fog also, that there's this kind of something going on. It could even be that this, if I was going to write, I think what I would probably put is that this swamp is actually overgrown, like that there used to be more things going on, and that this maybe got flooded and became swamp and was not originally swamp. And so therefore you have kind of some effect here. Maybe Saruman sinking the distance. Could be. Saruman might be, up here doing this, or maybe up in one of these peaks. Let's see. So I'm going to, let me export this again. Yeah, continue. We'll go 144. And we'll call this, we'll just map 2. Thank you. Now we can come back here. I think we can just increase this. So, all right, let's just zoom out. We got my original map, which I'll just keep over here, and then I will drag and drop other map if I can find it on my. Yep. Okay. Now we got the bigger map. Drag that up. So now we've got a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, there's a lot. So we can. So one of the things that we could do, right? And I think this might be helpful for some folks. I know people get caught in like, there's nothing here. Like, how can there be nothing here? And it's not that there's nothing. It just means that there's not a particular thing that's kind of in there at the moment. But we can also, if we think about that there are white apes, I think maybe this white ape, maybe their lair is here. Like, so we have this lair that didn't really get filled. I think 1-1, where did 1-1 end up coming up? Yeah, 1-1, nothing, right? So maybe we'll make this the white ape lair. And now we could do something like, say, White, well, we can have like, so this is like a white apes, like white apes are here. What are they doing? What is here? Nothing. What do they eat? Does it say what white apes eat? Lost their color, fruits and vegetables. We look for, so they're nocturnal. Okay, so what would they be doing up in the mountains? Mountains, Gandalf, mountains. So maybe they're, yeah, so night only, right? At night. White apes. White apes, searching. I don't know, what do you say? Grazing? Wouldn't say grazing. The white apes of Skull Mountain. Searching, let's see. Feeding on berries from bushes growing within sheltered crevasses. So we could say, yeah. Well, I mean, let me say, so white apes, these peaks are part of the white ape territory. Layer in, or was the layer 001.001? Ape territory. Scat footprints and I don't know, what do you call it? I don't know, what, like little like fur and fur mark there passing. They do not what is it? They do not, I don't know, during the day. Quaco asks if white apes were man eaters. Well, according to the basic book, they're not. That doesn't mean these can't be, but I'm just going to go with these for right now. You can always change it up later. So these peaks are part of the white ape territory. Scat footprints and fur mark their passing. They're not active. They only appear at night. We'll say 2 in 6 chance. Moving through crevasses. Moving through the crevasses. Looking for berries in bushes that grow sheltered from the wind. I'll just say that grow there. Okay. So there we got some. And I could probably write this, I could probably do this in a more way, but just for now, these peaks are part of the white ape territory. Scat footprints of fur mark their passing. They only appear at night, 2 in 6 chance. Moving through crevasses, I guess, not the, through crevasses, looking for berries in the bushes that grow there. That's in, so that's 000,001 right there. Right, but that also means the mysterious portal So I'm going to raise the chance to 3 and 6 that they're there. Because this is where this encounter was kind of marked. But I'm also going to have in this mysterious portal, I'm going to put a note. You can put that at night, there is a 2 in 6 chance that let's see, how many appear? That a party of 2 to 8 white apes is here foraging for food. Oh, yeah. Right. Mysterious portal. So we got the portal, which I don't know what it is yet, but we also know that there's another chance that there's some of those white apes might be around because it's in there. I think like this area, maybe not here because the goblins are here. Maybe the goblins have driven away the white apes, or the white apes have driven the goblins. So maybe the goblins. Oh, this is interesting. So the goblins might have. So maybe they came. I'm just thinking of this goblin story. So we have these goblins. Maybe they came through the ravine. They came up. They ended up going through the portal. Ended up over here. They were driven out by the white apes, and now they're there. I like the sound of it. I like how that works. Betty the cat has returned. Yeah, hi Betty. You're gonna leave in a minute, or you're gonna stick it out for a bit? All right. So 3000003 has nothing. I'm gonna say okay. I'm gonna leave that as nothing. 004 and 13. We've got what? We've got the Pegasus plus overgrown. So yeah, I'll put a, so the Pegasus, maybe, so the Pegasus is here. I'm going to say that they fly around. I don't know where they go to eat. Maybe they come down. Where did they go to, where would they, I mean, they can fly, so where would they go to graze? Maybe they stay off of here, but their flying area, they're kind of flying down. They're sort of flying here and maybe a little bit here. So I would think maybe they might avoid here because yeah, I might change these just to make more sense into grass mountains, and then that makes it more sense. Let me do that now. I'm thinking about. I probably want to update this map right away, but let me just do that. That way, I feel like for the Pegasus, then that makes it. I can visualize better that okay, maybe the Pegasi, maybe that's where they're. What is that? Hills shrub. We don't have a hills with grasslands, do we? We got mountain forest. We don't. I thought they would have had one that's like no, they don't. The hills are alive, but no, I guess maybe you don't have a lot of grass hills. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Executive decision. Plump. Here we go. Since they're not giving me one. Since they're not giving me one, I'm going to take one. Where was I? Apes plus Pegasi for Sky Cavalry. Oh yeah, the apes mount the Pegasi and go flying around. That would be pretty funny. All right, so one. Hold on, where was I? Nothing. We got the white ape lair, right? Oh yeah. So here were the goblins. So the goblins. We have the story, right? The goblin. I'll write this goblin encampment. Come on. Goblin encampment. So a group of how many goblins do you think we got appearing here? What do you think the number is for gobos? Where E, F, G, H. So goblin. Whoo, 6 to 60. Well, what is that? 6 to 60 would be 60, 10. I got some D10s. Do I have 6 D10s hanging around? There's one. I could just roll this a few times, right? There's 2. All right, I'll just roll these 3 times. Whew, 17, 18, 24, 25, 35. 35 goblins. Group of 35 goblins have made a makeshift semi-permanent camp here. They were originally 60 in number, traveling right from the North Plains, 4.000, through the ravine and portal to, I'll call it to mountain 0.002. They became lost, were driven down to the hills by the white apes. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't it 4D100 and OD&D, 2D6, but the result? I mean, I could do that. I'm just using the basic expert numbers. I'm not looking for it to be like a whole civilization of goblins. Maybe their original thing is like off the map. Like there's some kind of goblin thing maybe up here, wherever. But these, they came, bounced through here. White apes drove them until they were down here. Layer in 001, 001. And the idea here is so they have, they're here, they're numerous in terms of like a party, 35 of them, but there's no more of them. They have less people probably than live right here. The white apes, originally I was going to say, I think I just took 60, which is the high end for expert, but like that's just how many were killed, which is awful, by the white apes. And now they're a little bit stuck. This area is overgrown, and the Pegasi are here. I'm sure they've probably seen the Pegasi flying around, but that's kind of beyond them. There's cliffs and they would be totally exposed if they came down here. And of course, there's a keep and whatever else going on here, and so they're kind of hemmed in. It's kind of an interesting thing that you could think about. What are they doing? Like, what are their goals? I mean, their goals are like to get home or to get somewhere. And maybe the storyline is they were driven from their home. And you could be like, well, for further adventuring, like what drove them out of their home? If you're nice to them, maybe they'll tell you. But for the moment, they're stuck, and they're gonna need something to do. So we have they have the Pegasus nest, and it's overgrown. I'm just gonna leave that alone. I don't really have anything for that right now. This Pegasus grazing grounds. I'm gonna say that they probably are active during the day, right? And then nothing over there. PCs could hire them to raid the castle. Yeah, I guess if the PCs want to break bad, or if the castle's bad. I mean, I haven't rolled any kind of alignment stuff, so yeah, they could be they could be some they could be some helpers. Though at this point they're pretty weary. They would I mean, I don't know. I'm already thinking of like, oh, what would they? But I'm thinking like they were, yeah, it's nothing yet. But I'm thinking like, yeah, they're probably pretty beat up and weary right now. But if you could kind of heal, you could maybe heal them up. I'm just rolled for a number. I don't know. Are these all? Is this a war band? Is this or is this? I was thinking more they're kind of refugees. So there's also that 35 number is also non-combatants. Maybe even a fair number of them are non-combatants. Put in a bit of ambrosia and nectar along with the Pegasus. Oh, that's true. Maybe there's something in the brambles in the hazard. That's not a bad idea. I'll magic herb. Nectar. All right, so we got yeah, let me roll some we'll see if there's anybody on the road. Let's see if I'll put like there's a for this nothing. I'm just gonna roll for a couple of things. 6 and 6. That's what is a cleric? It would be pretty funny if yeah. Well, there we got 2 castles. Yeah, this this is hated. So right now I just have this as one settled area, but there's these don't have to be the same right ruler. Like there, it could be that there's 2 separate things. This manor here, this is one, and then this is another. This poor guy, like there's a lot of death going on here. There's a lot of, I mean, look, we got death up here, death here, and I think this one might end up being death related. There's this poor ruin. It's kind of tough. All right, so there's, hold on a minute. There's a, I'll just say there's a, two in 6, 1 in 6 chance at night of encountering someone on the road. And I'm just going to roll for, let's just make it basically like a 1 in 3. So we've got, come on, 6, cleric. I'm not going to use it. 2, an adventuring party, all right. No, I didn't roll any bandits or anything. Is the trader going to show up? Oh, there's the I'm not gonna have the trader. I was gonna say the Hydra. I should have just picked those because it's cleric. The only ones that are like on the road, like trader, adventuring party, cleric. You know, it's kind of funny. There's 2 in 6 chance, 1 in 6 chance at night of encountering someone on the road. Yeah. All right. So there you go. Let's see. 200 nothing. Is there anything? We got the mysterious portal. I wonder if at night maybe you could see, is there some light? Maybe you could, if you're above this looking down, you'll see some light from there. A trading hydra. Yeah. I don't know. I'll just leave that as nothing for right now. It's a desolate peak. So we got the mysterious portal plus the ravine. Yep, already got that noted. 2-2. There's nothing in these forested hills. Yeah, maybe the apes don't tend to go that way. I'll change those also. I'm going to change those because I feel like with the apes and stuff, I want, what is that? Shill's shrubland. Oh, that's actually that's better. Oops, no. It's better for both of those. The hills. No, why are you doing that? There we go. Even better. All right, that makes more sense. Okay, so what could be in anything in 2-2? Nothing. let's see. Oh, I could make, well, let's see. So we got the forest and the river. So I could roll for, I didn't roll to see if the river's got anything in it. I'll roll to see. So the forest, nothing. In the river, do we want to put, is there anything? Let's see. There's a 2 6 chance of encountering something in and along the river. 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. All right, let's see what we get on the river. Got some beetles. 3 and 3. Right, 3, 3. Ooh, a blue dragon. Where does a blue dragon maybe lairs? Yep, I'm gonna have to put. I think the blue dragon's gonna lair there. 6 and 2. 6 is a small rock. 2 is the blue dragon again. Jeez. I might have to make. You know what? I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna just make a thing for the river. I think I'm gonna need to do just something separate on the river. On the river. What would we think with the kind of the dragon? You'd think that they're maybe around twilight. And I'm gonna say that it layers in 4-3. Every river does need a dragon. You're right. Oh, maybe it's a river spirit. Oh my gosh, yes. River spirit. 1 6 chance of encountering the river spirit. It appears as a, what would you say, like a wingless, legless serpentine dragon. All right, we'll have to figure out the river spirit. I'll probably have to put a, I'll put some random encounter. And that's the thing, is like, I'm going to take all these things we rolled up, like I'll make those again for kind of what the kind of random encounters part is of that. I don't know if I'll do it quite now, but now we got that note. All right, so the river, so let's make a note. The river dragon, or actually, you know what? It makes sense, I think, that it's here, that this is the swirl is where the dragon is. And what's in 5-3? What layer was that? Hydra. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's 4-4, the mist. Yep, is the river spirit lair. Yeah, I'll have to come up with names too, but I think I'll probably do that later. All right, so we've got anything else? The banner is being attacked by giant rats. Maybe there's some kind of piper, some kind of mad piper going around. We got. I do want to, before we go. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up for now. Take a break. Got some other things to do. Why we have orcs and werewolves? Maybe these guys are werewolves. Are all these guys werewolves? Oh man, I kind of like it. A river named River or Avon. Um, yeah, it could be. I kind of like the fact that maybe these are werewolves. It kind of intrigues me. And that they fought off some orcs trying to cross the river. That maybe they're kind of secret werewolves. It's kind of their, or maybe not classic werewolves. Maybe they're kind of there's some kind of wolf element. These are like the wolf people. Oh, there's yeah, we had the berserkers. Where did the berserkers show up? They're in 004000. They're up here. Yeah, let me add an encampment marker to see that they're there. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. The goblins. Oh man. Why did I not? How did this not? Come on. Of course. Of course. So the berserkers will be somebody else. Berserkers, yeah, I guess it depends. There's lots of different things about the berserkers. Yeah, the berserkers. But I'm thinking I'm gonna do something different with the werewolves. That maybe there's some kind of I don't know, like we're the sort of wolf people, but not like your lycanthrope and not necessarily I don't know, the battle part of the werewolves might work. I'll have to figure it out. But I think what we're gonna have is berserkers are gonna be some raiders or something that pushed the goblins. Like if I was just gonna like there was the goblins, right? They kind of came down here and then down like that, and that these berserkers pushed them down. So the berserkers are camped here. Maybe that for whatever reason they're wary of. They don't like that ravine. I don't really know because berserkers is a whole like type of folk. It's like I'm not sure. They're just kind of warrior types, I guess. Um, but I kind of like that idea that there's this kind of berserker thing going on. Let me like I like that there's this story, I guess, that forms up. Werewolves, wolf wares putting travelers to sleep to steal their treasure. Yeah, that could be. It could be wolf wares. Absolutely. So where's another? Is there an? I thought there was an encampment kind of thing. Is there a campfire? Is there one that's yeah? There's a campsite. That's awfully bright. Actually, maybe I'll put that. There we go. All right. So yeah, so there was some kind of orc incursion maybe coming this way. And maybe they'll not be orcs. I don't know. I like to change up the kind of humanoid types, but you know, some kind of humanoid types. And I'm gonna say this Hydra's new. Like I'm gonna say there's so I think the thing is, I guess as I'm kind of putting this down for a bit, is I think we got some good stuff. Like I always like thinking in these adventuring areas, like where that there are tensions, right? There are things going on in the party, depending where they go, whatever they do, they're going to run into tension. So we right now, I think we can look at and say we've got a tension here between the river spirit and this Hydra that's just moved in came in from wherever, but is found here. Now there's kind of a tension here. We've definitely got a tension here. There's something, maybe there are orcs around here. Trying to get in. These guys pushing them out. They do have some natural sort of boundaries here, this kind of morassy stuff, whatever, but and the river itself, but they're kind of tried to push across and failed, or maybe they succeeded. I don't know. Maybe it's better maybe that the orcs are now here and they're pushing in. Because again, it's a tension, and we're thinking like, well, where could a party of players slip in and have something to do? Well, that's something they could have to do. It could even be that there was something going here that they're pushing up, that there's pressure, that this is a ruin because maybe they took it, like they lost, they got a battle here and a battle here. I don't know, something to think about. We got this little triumvirate of tension. We got the white apes who have pushed out these goblins down here. Maybe the goblins and the Pegasi, they're maybe getting pushed. I mean, the goblins are definitely at the low totem pole, so it's really more like these things and kind of what the goblins have to do. the weird portal that's here that's linking here and here. This ruin is maybe just be an old ruin, but it's there. What was in 500? Did we determine what was going on in 500? Oh, that's where that cleric is. Oh yeah, there's some cleric. Maybe the berserkers are working. Oh, maybe that's the cleric's doing. Maybe it's an evil high priest. Maybe he's like a bad dude up here. And maybe the berserkers are his cult members kind of thing. They work for him. And maybe they're trying to do something and the goblins just got in the way. I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. We definitely have all these, definitely a lot of tombs and mounds and things we've got. So I think there's a lot of good stuff going on. I will continue with this, but I'm gonna say goodbye to y'all for now. Might be back. I'm gonna try to do another community stream. Well, we'll see. I'm also trying to go. We're trying to go up country for the holiday because this is the holiday weekend. So I might not have another stream today. I don't know. We'll see. But this is a lot of fun. I will post this. I'll have to get in some kind of format where I can post it. So I'll post it to Patreon and other spots. Peach says that the origin of werewolf comes from Norse berserkers. Yeah, I think there was this idea of these that they would take on kind of these animalistic forms. I think you're right on the berserker to werewolf thing. Though, like I said, I don't think I'm going to use classic or even kind of berserker werewolves. I'll have to think of something else, something to do with wolves. I definitely want to keep that association and stuff, but maybe, I don't know, not necessarily more interesting, but just different stuff. But yeah, there's a lot here, and it kind of started with that prompt, and then we just sort of took it from there and ran with it. So very cool. All right, folks, you might see me later. You might not. If not, have a great holiday weekend. If you do get the holiday weekend, otherwise have a great regular weekend. And if you're watching this later, have a great rest of whenever you end up watching or listen to this. Game on, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.